How you doing? I particularly don't understand what the weather is like these days, right? I don't know if it wants to rain. I don't know if it's just normal fog. I don't know if it's Hamatan. It's just pretty confusing, especially when you wake up in the morning. For those of us that, get up very early in the morning, yeah? Then as the day breaks, it gets clearer and clearer, and then the sun comes up, and the sun wants to pierce through your skin at the end of the day. It's, whatever the name for this weather is, I'd really like to know. Yeah. Right now, if you peep out, you think that it may possibly rain today. Rain may possibly just drop today, but most likely it won't. It's just been like that for about a week or so now. It's been quite confusing. Meantime, let's have you know that you can watch this show on Facebook and on YouTube. Nigeria Info 99.3. That's right, Nigeria Info 99.3 is how you can watch online. I'm Sheriff Quadry. Pardon my manners, please. Let's begin. We have The Guardian first. I know quite a lot of people would have wished for JD to be here. That's Uncle Jimmy to be here. Particularly for what transpired at the Lagos State House of Assembly yesterday. Baba said that he wanted to take a break last week, so he's taking that 1 week break. We're back on Saturday, hopefully. And then he can dig into all of these issues concerning politics in Lagos State. We can have you dig in as well. So let's begin. Lagos Assembly alleges infractions against Obasa, elects first female speaker. That story is on page 3. Lagos Assembly alleges infractions against Obasa, elects first female speaker. Page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. I'm going to dig into that story. Let's read up. It's right here. It says Lagos State House of Assembly has laid bare the reasons behind the dramatic impeachment of its speaker, Mudashiru Obasa, in a move that sent shockwaves through the state's political landscape. Obasa's removal, executed while he was away in the United States, was met with widespread jubilation among members, staff, assembly staff, and observers yesterday. Said that they were jubilating. Now, while that unraveled, some suspected supporters of Obasa arrested by the police reportedly sang "On Your Mandate," while begging food and water from inside the police van. The speaker was removed alongside the clerk of the assembly, Olalekan Onofeko, and replaced with Abubakar Otun in an acting capacity. Addressing the media shortly after the impeachment, Abiodun Tobun, flanked by other lawmakers, described the decision as a necessary step to protect the integrity of the legislative body. Let me quote Tobun now. Tobun says, "The members of his house, in exercising our constitutional rights to regulate our proceedings, unanimously decided that we had endured enough under the leadership of the Speaker. Today, we have resolved to replace him to safeguard the sanctity and reputation of this assembly." End quote. So, in their words, they did this on their own. No external influence, no other reasons apart from infractions by the Speaker of the House, alleged infractions by the Speaker of the House, Mudashiru Obasa, who is currently away in the U.S. on vacation. You can read further on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper, as well as other papers this morning you can read. All right, let's go take another story. I'd like to get your thoughts on this story, by the way. Let's take another story. In the Guardian newspaper, tax reform bills set for passage as Senate FIRS clear key hurdles. The story is on page 4. National Assembly probes alleged 4 trillion naira lost to waivers by agencies. National Assembly probes alleged 4 trillion naira lost to waivers by agencies. The story is on page 4. There's got to be a process, a well-regulated process to granting waivers. 4 trillion naira is no joke. Let's even forget about the fact that naira has got, not too much value these days, but then it's still not a joke. 4 trillion naira in waivers. That needs to be really, really investigated. Now, let's take this one here on page 29 of the Guardian newspaper. ISWAP kills 40 farmers in Borno despite paying levies. ISWAP kills 40 farmers in Borno despite paying levies. It's a very, very sad one. FGOK's 1,125 naira daily feeding allowance for correctional inmates. Stories on page 4. Let me quickly announce that on Daily Digest at 9 o'clock, this is what we are talking about. As a matter of fact, we're going to examine this very well because this amount cannot be found in the 2025 budget for the inmates in our prisons. It's almost like nobody remembers the inmates anymore. They're like forgotten citizens of this country. In other climes, in other functioning countries, inmates are productive. There is the economy. There is an economy from prisons. You will find people who are working and earning pay. You will find products that are leaving the prisons to the main markets, to the shops, to stalls, products made from the prisons. But in Nigeria, even in Africa, some African countries, they have this system as well, where inmates are quite productive. They learn skills, they go to school, they acquire skills, they make shoes, they make bags, they make products that people use on a daily basis. I think in Kenya also. But we'll have this conversation at 9 o'clock on Daily Digest about what are we doing about making our products or creating an economy, a viable economy from our prisons and taking care of our inmates, really. FGOK's 1,125 naira daily feeding allowance for correctional inmates. The story is on page 4. You can read further in preparation for our conversation at 9 o'clock. Let's go to the Vanguard right away. So I've got this one here that says 2025 budget, no end in sight to national grid collapse. Federal government wants you to know that. 2025 budget, no end in sight to national grid collapse. Stories on page 5 of the Guardian newspaper. It said you shouldn't bother about finding end to national grid collapse. Let's take a look at that story. The federal government said yesterday that there was no end to frequent national grid collapse in the country. Speaking yesterday in Abuja when he appeared before the Senator Inaya Abaribe-led Senate Committee on Power to defend the 2025 budget, the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, said the national electricity grid remains vulnerable to frequent collapses, partly because government is yet to repair a major transmission line in the northern region due to persisting insecurity. He said grid collapses will continue, but noted that government will ensure that it reduces the frequency of collapses and ensure a very short turnaround time to restore the grid, stressing that vandalization remains one of the biggest challenges in the power sector. You can read for that page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. Terrorists kill 50 in Borno, Nasarawa. Stories on page 4. Terrorists kill 50 in Borno, Nasarawa. Page 4 of the Vanguard newspaper. 21 million housing gap. 5 trillion naira needed for 2.7 million new houses annually for 10 years. 21 million housing gap, 5 trillion naira needed for 2.7 million new houses annually for 10 years. The riders abandoned housing projects all over Nigeria. Developers blame insecurity to abandoned housing projects, for abandoned housing projects rather. 21 million more houses needed. Houses being built for those who already have homes. That means it's really not affordable. FG planning to deliver 50,000 units. That's according to the minister. What government should do by Ashimolo. These are the riders to that story. If you'd like to read, please speak further and read. Why we impeached Obasa, changed House leadership, Lagos lawmakers. Already told you that story. It's page 7 is where you'd find that. You can find the inmate feeding stuff on page 9 of the Vanguard as well. Yep. Let's see. Thank you so much. Let me at this juncture just say a very big thanks to Mr. President. Remember the issue of the gentleman that we brought in here from the former staff of the National Universities Commission. Remember that conversation we had last year? We gathered authoritatively that the presidency or the president himself has attended to that case, and it's being resolved as we speak right now. So many thanks to Mr. President, and congratulations to the gentleman as well, right? Okay. Now let's go take our last paper because I've got less than 2 minutes to go. How Boko Haram killed 40 farmers in Borno. Survivors want you to know that. How Boko Haram killed 40 farmers in Borno. Survivors want you to know that on page 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Scenes that cost Lagos Speaker his seat. That story is on page 23. That's where they put it there. Share. Scenes that cost Lagos Speaker his seat. They said he operated multiple bank accounts. He made a move to scrap LCDAs. He rejected Sanwo-Olu's commissioners. What again? 17 billion naira Obasa gates. That's how they put it. You can read everything in the Trust newspaper this morning. Yeah, okay. That's where they put it. Scenes that cost Lagos Speaker is sit. Page 23 of the Daily Trust newspaper. I'm going to take one more. Yes, please, let me say it's 7:42. Let me just squeeze in this one. FG confirms bird flu outbreak in Kano. FG confirms bird flu outbreak in Kano. Please take care of yourselves. Be careful with the birds. If you handle birds daily, please be careful. Please be careful. All right? Okay. Now, let's go take your reactions to the stories that we've brought you this morning on the second part of Dailies today. 0201 2770 993. That is 0201 2770 993. Female only line is 0201 465 7190. That is 0201 465 7190. And we've got a WhatsApp number for you. It's 0809 597 5805 on WhatsApp. That is 0809 597 5805 on WhatsApp. We're streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube. Nigeria Info 99.3 is how you can watch on Facebook and on YouTube. And do please drop your comments there. I will come take them as we go along on the show this morning. And also, you've got 60 seconds to share your thoughts with me. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Sharif.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, this is Friday from Igwelere.
Let's talk.
Yeah, they said the seat that called the speaker is sick, operating multiple accounts, some billions of naira. How come Tina has he been arrested? Hey, Sharif.
Go on, listen to you.
The speaker has been stealing money from the people and the government of Lagos State. How come is he a member of the State House of Assembly? He was only impeached. He has not been arrested. So this is the same thing we have been saying. You select people that you will arrest, you will persecute and take them to cell. MFL is still in the prison. And this one now will be working free. And he will still be among the lawmakers in Lagos State. And he has stolen such he
allegedly.
Allegedly now, even MFL is still allegedly.
Exactly. And it's in court. And he's on bail.
Yes. So they should also arrest him and take him to court. Allegedly, as you have said. Thank you very much, Sherry.
Thank you too for calling. Nigeria Info, good morning to you. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Is that my man, Quadry?
Yes, your man, but you're calling the female line though. You have to call the male line if you want to talk to me as a male. Thanks for joining. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. Sheriff.
Good morning to you.
My name is Robert.
You're welcome, Robert.
Mr. Sheriff, the truth is that insecurity in Nigeria, if you don't remove religion and a thick city, if you bring to Kano jets, honestly, 100 of them, you will not get results. Until these people stop to use these terrorists as shield, honestly, you can never get results. And for Obasa, The Bible says pride goeth before destruction and the haughty spirit before a fall. The statement of Obasa are condemnable. You delay a whole governor of a state for how many hours? Is it bigger than the state governor? I don't know. Can Obasa become a speaker by himself? I think somebody put him there. Either he knows somebody, who knows somebody, or who knows somebody. That's it. So I'm in support of his impeachment. So it's not even the money, not his ambition to becoming the Lagos State governor. No, the man is proud. So thank you very much, Sheriff.
Thank you too for calling, Robert. Let's take another call. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning to you.
Thank you very much. Quick one. Kashim Shettima. I don't know how that man sleeps. I will never forget this. I keep on calling on him. You're on NBA conference. You say you are going to be in charge of security. Look at it now. Yesterday or so, I'm in Boronu, in Katsina. The other day we were talking about 6 soldiers. And I'm begging the military, you can do it. Forget romancing with all these politicians. You can do it, please. Our people are dying. Kashim Shettima, come out. And do the job. You promised Nigerians. And on the national grid, one of our callers say we should not call it national grid, that you journalists are causing confusion. It's a national trip-off, not national grid. Hello, Chief Quadry.
Please go on.
So please, according to the caller, we say it's a national trip-off. And for Obasa, that's what they call Otoge. Otoge wave is still on now. So the bottom line now, Otoge, not be only say Bill Gates for 17 naira before, amen. Thank you.
Thank you too for calling. Nigeria Info, good morning to you. That call dropped. Let me take this message, then we'll come back to the telephone line. Olasokomi Koka has a message, and I'd like to know if you agree with him. He says, the Lagos State democratic norms is almost a model in the country. The impeachment of the speaker is smooth and seamless without much noise. Do you agree with him that it's a model? You want to say something is model, yeah? Okay. Good morning to you.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Sheriff.
Okay. Good morning. I salute you.
Yes, Shakespeare wrote in his wisdom in Macbeth that the forest will visit the castle. That is exactly what has happened in the Lagos State House of Assembly. The man has committed a political sin. And in political sin, there is no forgiveness. He is a very bad student of history. If he is not, he would have learned from the likes of Ambode, Pedro and the rest, Muslim Balikura and the rest of them. The Lagos State has a strong political hierarchy. You must abide by it. No matter what you think about the president, hate him or love him, the man has created a solid political hierarchy that must not be go against. You must follow the hierarchy, whatever you want to become. And if you go against it, you have yourself to blame. So let him face the music. It's a political sin. Good morning.
Morning to you too. Thank you for calling. I appreciate it. Nigeria Info, good morning to you. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Frank.
Welcome, Frank.
For Obasa, I like the way they impeach him because most of the law he gave in Lagos State, if we follow it in other states, there will be crash in Nigeria. They don't follow federal government law, in Lagos State especially. So I like the way they impeach him.
Which of the laws? Can you give me just one? Give me an example.
I think last year or last 2 years, he gave a law that if you buy a land in Lagos State, after 50 years of that land, you will still be paying 10% of the money to the person that sold it to you. After they have used your money to solve the problem.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not aware. I'm not aware. I'm not aware.
Most of the law they give in Lagos State is not federal government law.
That's interesting. Thank you for sharing. Appreciate it. I'm not aware of that. It said during Obasa's tenure, that's what he was trying to say, not that he gave a law, yeah. During his tenure, he allowed, or let me say, he supervised the passage of a law, of a bill rather, that says that you must pay 10% of something to the person that you bought a land for after 15 years or so. I'm not aware of that. Well, maybe he's in that sector, just maybe. 7:50 right now. I'm going to go take a few more messages here. This person says, I'm impressed with the news of the man from NUC. Mr. President has intervened. Finally, salute his guts, tenacity, and his doggedness. He made history. Yes. He made history, actually. He fought until he got his right. So this person says, Sheriff, how do you come with these news and I didn't hear from any of you when I lost my siblings? Anyway, Happy New Year. EUJ, I don't understand the news you're talking about. What news are you talking about now? I don't know. I think it's seamless because Abasan is not in the country unless he himself has decided to step down, which I really doubt. We await his return and see if he will take it with his tails between his legs. Okay, all right. What do you think he can do, actually? Okay, I'm going to take another message. I don't want to dwell too much on that. Let me take another message quickly. This person says, name is Moses in Ikorodu. Moses says, Tinubu don't want real Lagosians to become a governor in Lagos State. Tinubu can allow a Lagosian to become, that's what you want to put here, an Oba rather than becoming a governor. Okay. That's Moses in Ikorodu, who is coming through with his own analysis of the entire development. Ekene is also here. Ekene says, impeachment of the speaker is a case of hand of God. Is Abasa not the same fellow that asked that some tribes should leave Lagos? I'm sure the prayers those tribes prayed are working. Usheshebere, that's Ekene who put that here. Yeah, well, too many interpretations, right? Jeremiah is in mainland, and Jeremiah says, was there any time insecurity was bathed by the government, who has the prerogative to lower or curb it in total? This ungodly space that has bedeviled Nigeria now over a decade. The answer is no. Government failed and cover up terrorism in Nigeria. They still kill and kidnap, terrorize the country daily, and I hope the Northerners talk to this destructive gang they nurtured and brought into the country. That's Jeremiah from mainland who dropped that note on WhatsApp. Let's go check out Twitter after these few calls. Let's take this one here. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. Sherry.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Chika.
Welcome.
Well, on the headline that said that the sins that made them to impeach Obasa, the question I want to ask is that despite the fact that Obasa is the Speaker of the Assembly, does he also have the monopoly to sign, to make some, should I say, withdrawal, or to sign some funds to himself without the approval of the State Assembly or without the approval of the members? The truth of the matter is that Lagos State is actually drifting, and is drifting fastly. And it baffles me that one man single-handedly can control the politics of Lagos State. It's so unfortunate. In as much as I'm not a fan of Obasa or supports whatever he does, because the truth of the matter is that even the man has crossed the line several times. We remember when he was using the phrase Otoge, and also when he said that they will make some laws and some laws that will favor the indigents and the ones that will not favor the indigents. But be that as it may, everything must be done according to the law and with due process. You said that he was impeached allegedly as a result of some malfeasance. What stopped them from actually doing due diligence before impeaching him? And this practice of actually removing someone, then thereafter you now start investigating the person. Mm-hmm. It's high time that we stop this nonsense, because truth of the matter is that it's not working and it will never work. Look at what Nefil is going through now. After you remove him, you now arrested him, you now started investigating him. For how long are we going to continue with this procedure? Mm-hmm. It's so unfortunate. And it's also unfortunate that you read this morning that Boko Haram is still killing people. What is happening, for crying out loud? The trillions and billions that they are budgeting for defense, what is the money being used for? Good morning.
Morning to you too, Chika. Thanks for calling. 7:54. Let's go to YouTube. Let's go take some thoughts from YouTube. Then we'll branch at Facebook. Okay. So here we go with some thoughts that have dropped on YouTube. I've got this one here that says Obasa became too full of himself and arrogant in his thoughts. He's to be the next governor. That's Lawal on YouTube who dropped that. Blair says, Blair laughed at Ekene and says it's nothing to do with asking any tribe to leave Lagos. His replacement likely feels the same way as many indigenes of Lagos. His removal was political, not because he threatened any tribe. That's Blair on YouTube who dropped that here. I've got another one from Olutunji Solomon. Olutunji says, Lagos political structure my foot. Allow a free and fair election in Lagos and see the political structure collapse like a pack of cards. That's Olutunji Solomon on YouTube who dropped that. Olutunji, thank you for sharing your thought. I'm going to take one or two more, then come to Facebook. Good morning to you.
Morning. Good morning.
Yes, please. Morning to you.
Yeah. Patrick is calling from Okota.
Let's hear you.
You read about Boko Haram killing 40 after they have paid levy. Now, when soldiers strike and kill, Northerners will tell us that they kill innocent people. Then Boko Haram will kill farmers. Are they not innocent? So who exactly is the terrorist? When are we going to come to the end of all this? Sheriff, there is more than meet the eye in what is going on in the north. If a foreign country sent intelligence report to us about the names of those involved, and up to now, 9 years after or so, Nigerian authorities are still sitting on that document, doing nothing, and innocent people are dying. Then when they say they kill innocent youth, is it not the youth that practicing terrorism? When are we going to give the Northerners will commend the army and say they have killed the right people? I tell you, the conspiracy that is going on
Thank you.
We all are in for it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your thought. Appreciate it. Let's go to Facebook now. Let's take a few comments on there. I've got this one from Golawan Akimbami who says, Sheyi Tinubu's gubernatorial ambition depends less on hamstringing potential opponents and more on 2025 being in what's now inflection year for low inflation. 15% is set by federal government. I don't know why you think that would affect his chances. Federal government inflation target. Martin says FG needs to build a concentration farm, a correctional place that will produce farm, produce for the nation, where inmates will still will till the soil and farm for our country, most especially secret cult members, armed robbers, terrorists, rapists, etc. will learn how to be productive rather than locking them up doing nothing. My take. That is Martins who dropped that message on. I mean, look, federal government needs to do a whole lot more concerning the inmates. We'll have that conversation at 9 o'clock. Celsa director would be here. That's Joke Aladisami will be here at 9, and we'll have that conversation, particularly why they didn't include the welfare of not the welfare itself, taking care, feeding for the inmates in the 2025 budget. Particularly, I'm really interested in that area, really. Ade Ogun says Honorable Babasa should just go to rest and enjoy himself. He understands the game himself now. That's Ade Ogun on Facebook. I have another one that says Chukwujeku says, wow, it's right time to relocate to prison. Why do you want to relocate to prison? Because they are spending 1,125 naira per day daily. Do you think actually that's what a prisoner, an inmate, gets on a daily basis? I mean, what can you even eat with 1,125 naira per day in today's Nigeria? Please don't be careful what you wish for. Why would you say it's time to relocate to the prisons? Well, this is where we'll leave it. But I'll be back at 9 o'clock for the digest to have Jokela Lisomi of Celsa here, and we'll talk about prisoner, that's inmates welfare, at 9 o'clock on Daily Digest. Meantime, I'm going to step aside now for Kofi Battles to come in for the continuation of the Morning Crossfire. I'm Sheriff Quadry. Good morning to you.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.